Wolverine is the biggest star of the X-Men franchise, from the bad boy attitude to his indestructible adamantium skeleton that houses 6 razor-sharp claws. But, how do those claws work? Hi YouTubers and welcome to Blank Panels. I'm your host John Wiley, and I often wondered when I was watching that 90s animated series, X-Men, just how Wolverine's claws worked. Well, let's start with some shocking news. Those claws are organic. They first popped when he was just a young boy in a situation of extreme duress that I won't ruin for anybody who hasn't read the origin story, but needless to say, those bone claws are all natural. It wasn't until many years later that Weapon X, a part of the Weapon Plus program, gave him that adamantium skeleton that we all know and love, along with taking away many of his memories, but that's an issue for an origin episode. So, first things first, where are those bone claws stored? Well, the most realistic explanation is that they would be stored between the radius and ulna bones of the forearm, right there. Each claw measures almost the complete length of his forearm. Wolverine's bone structure would have to be slightly different to accommodate them, but seeing as how in the Marvel Universe there's people with wings, multiple hands, extra heads, shells, I don't think the claws being in his forearms is that big of a stretch. Well, there's not actually a lot of published information by Marvel on how his claws work. Not much in there about how they're popped out, how they're held in place, anything like that. But after doing a lot of research, watching some YouTube videos, and I found an actual old biology textbook in my basement, I read it a little bit and I got some information. Hopefully it works for you. Now, I think I've got a great explanation for you, so stick with me here because it's going to get a little bit intense, kind of confusing, probably make you feel a little bit stupid and like you need to go back to school biology, but bear with me. Well, the extensor muscles in his forearm would have to contract, pushing the ligaments in the claws forward through the skin of his hand. The ligaments would act like a lever, pushing the claws to their maximum extension. The claws would attach at the base of his hand, using the muscles in the palm and the ligaments on the back of the hand to keep them in place and have enough tension on them to withstand the force that he would get with any impact using those claws. To retract the claws, he would have to contract the flexor muscles, I know this is getting confusing, and bring those claws back into his forearm and sheath them in the bones. Now, I don't think I've ever seen an instance in the comics where he's produced his claws while his wrists were bent. And this would make sense because if he were to do that, it would have to go through his palm or the top of his hand. And I know Wolverine's a real tough guy, but that would hurt. Now, this is a theory based on how some animal claws work. I don't have a PhD. I'm not a doctor. I haven't read everything that Wolverine's been in, and so I might have missed a few things. If you have a better theory or know something that I don't, please leave it in the comment section below. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe as this will be a huge help. Till next time, thanks for watching.